Good morning, dear friends. It's nice to meet you all once again with a new topic after a very long time. We always hear people say, a little drop of water makes a mighty ocean. So, what do you think it is? Is it a expression or an idiom or a proverb? Yes, you guessed right. It's a proverb. So, say little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Each drop of water join together to form this big ocean. Now, similarly, each member of a team join together to make a good company or an organization. It can be a school, it can be an work environment, or even in the public. So, everyone, when they join together with common understanding, we form a group or a team. And so, each member of the team is very important. It also, each drop of water, when you keep saving every penny, you can become rich. So that also goes in this. Now there are some other sayings like mm, all that glitters is not gold. So it means that any metal you see may not be gold. Like similar, how do they compare it with real life situations? They say anyone who talks very sweetly may not be good at art, or any building that looks so beautiful maybe not giving proper quality education, or it may not be a proper organization or a hospital or anything. So don't go by the looks. So here we go to see few proverbs that gives some explanations for you. Proverbs. What are proverbs? A proverb is a simple, concrete, traditional saying that expresses a perceived truth based on common sense or experience. Some proverbs exist in more than one language because people borrow them from languages and cultures similar to theirs. Now, how are they different from idioms? An idiom is a phrase that has a meaning of its own that cannot be understood from the meaning of its individual words. Here are some examples of idioms. To be fed up with means to be tired and annoyed with something that has been happening for too long. You cannot have a direct meaning like little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So you cannot infer it directly with idioms. To be fed up. Next, to rub someone the wrong way means to irritate someone. So it's not rubbing someone physically. So to rub someone the wrong way, it means to irritate with words or by deeds or something else. So a proverb is a short, popular saying that gives advice about how people should behave or that expresses a belief that is generally thought to be true. Here are some examples. Don't cry over spilled milk. Already the milk is spilled over, so you don't have to cry over it. In any, if any problem has already happened, there's no meaning worrying about it. You can just leave it and go ahead with other thoughts. So, though who those who live in a glass houses shouldn't throw stones. That's very nice, right? So you're sitting in a glass house, and if you start throwing stone at others, if the other people start throwing stone at your house, the whole house will be broken. So when you are already at fault, you're not supposed to blame others for small faults. Now, a stitch in time saves nine. So what do you mean by this? A stitch in time saves nine. So I remember my teacher has taught me this in grade 3. So that time it was art and craft was taught to us, and stitching has been started for us. So I always thought stitch in time saves nine. It's just teaching. Then the teacher advised us or explained to us that small tear, when there is a small tear, you'll just have to put one stitch. But if you just ignore it, and after some time it will keep tearing, and you'll have to make more number of stitches, so it will take more time, more effort, and all that. So any mistake you do, you have to rectify it immediately, then the problem will be solved. Otherwise it will be very difficult to rectify the problem. So stitch in time saves nine. The literal meaning of an idiom usually doesn't make sense, and idioms can be almost impossible to understand unless you have learned or heard them before, unlike proverbs. Now, so here we go. A bad workman always blames his tools. This proverb is used when someone blames the quality of their equipment or other external factors when they perform a task poorly. So, in case a student has not done his homework and the teacher is asking what happened, he'll say, "My pencil was, I didn't have a sharpener, there was no current at home," or something for his work not to be done. So, you can't give lame excuses. You have to be uh, with any kind of circumstances, you should a good person will complete his work. That's the meaning. Now here we'll say Mr. X says the cake isn't cooked well because the oven is not functioning well. Actually, maybe the chef or the cook, he doesn't know how to bake a cake properly, or he was ignorant that day, he did not add something, might be, but he is blaming the oven. Well, it's the case of a bad workman blaming his tools. So, as a reply, someone is telling that yes, it's a case of a bad workman blaming his tools. Now, next, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. The things we already have are more valuable than the things we only hope to get. See, for example, you feel that you have something, you have a job which is okay, but there are people who are coming and irritating you and telling you, oh, you're getting very less salary. There is other companies are giving more. See that company, see this company, and all that. We will be worrying. Okay, let's leave this job and find a better job. But once you leave the job that is already there with you, you might find it very difficult to get a new job which you had already thought was better. So it's better the one which you have in hand, the job that you have in hand is so much better than which you don't know whether you will be taken in the other companies or not. So that's why I say a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Now, why did you give up your job when you don't have anything concrete in hand at the moment? Mr. White, well, I was confident I will land one of the two jobs I interviewed for last week, and they were better than this one. In my opinion, you should have kept it. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Now, next, absence makes the heart grow fonder. When people we love are not with us, we love them even more. Sometimes it happens. Maybe dad is at home, he's always shouting at us, do this, do that, disciplining us, and all that. And sometimes, if he goes for a business trip or so, we really start missing him, right? Somewhere we feel that we are not getting that affection or care. Similarly, with any teacher or anyone who you really like that subject a lot, and they are no more, like they go out to another school or to another place with transfer, then you start really missing them. And so it's always better that you be happy and treat everyone good when they are with you. So there's no meaning of feeling sad after the people had left you. So when I was with her, she always fought with me, but now she cries for me on phone. I think distance has made her heart grow fonder. Actions speak louder than words. Actions are a better reflections of one's character because it's easy to say things but difficult to act on them and follow through. Again, there is another thing, a man of words, but not of deeds. It's always better to do and show people than keep telling, I'm good at it, I want to do it, I'm going to do this, and all that. Do it and show them and tell them, see, I have done this. That's so much better than talking about or bragging about things. Okay. Now, Julie always says she'll donate to the school and she never does. So I doubt she will this year. Action speaks louder than words after all. The pot calling the kettle black. They also say pot cannot call a kettle black. Used to convey that the criticisms a person is aiming at someone else could equally well apply to themselves. Pot is already black. Kettle is better than a pot. But you, that means you already have a lot of wrong things going on in your life, or bad behaviors, and you cannot call some other person with a similar or a different mistake. uh, they are wrong. Okay, so you're already black. That means you're already having a lot of issues and a lot of manners, and you cannot find fault at the others. So he called me selfish. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Maybe the person who called selfish is already a more selfish person. So we should not always, we have to try to see the mistakes in us before finding fault with others. Cat has 9 lives. A cat is able to endure, continuing, or survive despite a near encounter with death or disaster because cats have 9 lives, according to a common myth, sir, understanding. The gate. So they say the cats escape from death very quickly. They are very sharp. Now, Madhav addressed everybody with a quick remark. Gentleman, a cat has 9 lives. An intelligence officer has one, reiterating that fact that he could not afford to make mistakes. Okay. The early bird catches the worm. The person who takes the earliest opportunity to do something will gain the advantage over others. Now, why did you wait for the last minute to send your application out? The seat is already taken now. She got the position because the early bird catches the worm. So, literally speaking, anyone who wakes up early will be successful in life. And if you have to send some application for your job or a college or school, then it's always better that you apply it at the earlier time. Where else will we use this? Suppose you have to catch bus. Normally I see in the bus station or train, we will see people standing in a queue. So who goes early will get into the first train of a bus. The others might have to wait for the next bus or the train. So early bird catches the worm says that you have to be quick in anything that you do. Don't be lazy. Always put your best foot forward. Try your hardest. Try to make a good first impression. You always hear that, right? First impression is the best impression. So you have to make sure that you present yourself well, you talk to people very nicely, you um, dress up nicely, elegantly, and do the best. You need to put your best foot forward in the interview if you want to land that job. So you have to present yourself very nicely. Now, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Eating an apple a day will keep you healthy. This is an old, very very old proverb. We know that apples are very good for health, and if you eat an apple, it's not that keeping doctor. You don't have to, because it has all the nutrients. You will be healthy, and you don't have to go for a. You'll not fall sick, and you don't need a doctor. That's the meaning. Now, Grandma always fed us lots of apples when we visited her. She believed that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So let's start eating fresh fruits and vegetables, which is really healthy for our living. Rome wasn't built in a day, said to mean that it takes a long time to do a job or task properly, and you should not rush it to or expect to do it quickly. Now, I heard you're writing a book. When will it be finished? Sometime next year, after all. Rome was not built in a day. Now, there are many schools or companies which has very good name. If you deeply analyze, you can see that they had worked hard with lot of effort. Slowly, they have come up to that level. And a new organization or a school that's going to start cannot compete with them and try to prove better than them over a year. Maybe it's possible with few if they really do it well, but then the good name and the good built up of any organization does not come overnight. Similarly, all our habits, so even from brushing teeth to taking bath and table manners or welcoming the guests or anything, it can't be just come. We can't just say, okay, I'll go out and I will behave well. You have to practice it on a daily basis. So that's why you can't all of a sudden become or get into any habit. You have to practice it every day. Rome wasn't built in a an empty vessel makes much noise. This again one of the common proverbs that we used to use. If any student, when we were studying in school, they're talking all the time and they are not studying, we normally say empty vessels make more noise. They don't have, because they want to distract others. They don't know the subject or they don't know anything. So to show off that they are better than the others, they keep talking or saying something about bragging about something. So foolish or stupid people are the most talkative. So it's not that you shouldn't talk at all. You have to talk relevantly at different places. The passengers weren't amused at the British tourist ranting about the flight delay because all of them were well aware of the fog. He was just an empty vessel making noise. All that glitters is not gold. So anyone who's coming and smiling at you, laughing to you, and saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful, such a nice person you are," don't think that they are the best part. Maybe a true friend is there who will come and tell you, "Come on, this is not right in you. You're not supposed to do this. Change this behavior." We might get irritated at that time, but maybe they are the real best friends, best people in life, and who are boasting, like just trying to please you and talking something to praise you, may not always, but really most of the time when they do, it may not be true. So you have to be very careful whether they're just praising you really or not, just to make you happy. So all that glitters is not gold. Things that look good outwardly may not be as valuable or good. Same, anything beautiful is not always good, but anything good is always beautiful. That's this is. So if you are good, it's beautiful always. But any just beautiful, it might go off, and the real nature will come later. Now, my grandmother advised me to be careful about making new friends because all that glitters is not gold. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Okay, what is this? If many cooks are there and each one would say, "This is my taste," add some pepper, add some jeera, add some asafoetida or something else. So the dish will not turn out good. So one or two, maybe with the help, will be better. So if too many people are involved in a task or activity, it will not be done well. Similarly, projects or anything, it's better you do it for yourself or take advice and help from one or two people, which will make it better. So if we are going to involve too many people, then no one will be responsible for anything. Suppose the soup has gone wrong, who will you say had made a mistake? Because each and everyone will say, "He has done this, he has done this. It's not because of me, because of him this soup has not come out well." So it is always better that each person takes up the responsibility and do something than cooking up together and spoiling things out. Now, the company management had 11 decision makers. No wonder it closed operations since too many cooks spoiled the broth. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. It refers to personal or technical failure in a team due to one component. See, if you see this is the weakest chain, it is still linking, but there is a breakage here. So suppose um, if this is little more closed, maybe it will stay a little longer. But since anytime it might break. So similarly, your weakness, our personal weaknesses in our daily life, maybe suppose I'm excellent in everything, all aspects in managing, in making money, and doing everything. so if you're a student and you're very good at studies, you're getting first rank, you're doing this, that, running everything, fine. But if we lack somewhere, our maybe my weakness is very emotional. Okay, some that's my weakness or my so people will come and tell me, I wanted leave because I'm sick, my child is not well. Maybe it's not true. I might keep giving holiday for them or leave for them, and then finally what will happen is the children will be affected in the school. So as a student, if you are lazy, maybe you're good, but then if you're keeping on doing things very slowly, with somebody's help only and all that, that is a weakness. Then again, the success story, if when you're in along with at home, maybe you will be doing it with the help of people, but in school or outside, when you have to do something, you might not be able to complete the task because of the lack of help. People, there will be nobody to help you over there. So you have to make sure which is your weakness and try to come out of it. Now, all good things must come to an end. All things and situations are temporary, or happiness is fleeting. The band breaking up was a terrible thing, but I guess all good things must come to an end. But somehow I'm not okay for this, but temporarily maybe it will come to an end. But on a long run, when you do good, it will be successful. You will be successful, though you might see little sufferings here and there, but you will really succeed in life. Now, few more proverbs to see. Like father, like son. As mother, the daughter, they say, right? So, எப்படி அப்பா எப்படி இருக்காரோ அந்த மாதிரி தான் பையன் இருப்பான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. As you make your bed, so you must lie. So, depending upon how you make your bed, you have to, that comfort, whether it is a mat down on the floor or a bed, or so how you prepare your life, you have to enjoy. Suppose you are saving properly and you're working diligently and keeping up something, then you will have a wealthy life. Otherwise, if you keep spending and going around, you will have nothing. That's it. Now, you can't make an omelette without breaking an egg. That's very clear. So if you want something, then you will have to invest. If you want first grade, first mark, then you will have to study. Padikame, you can't say, I will come first, I'll come first. Next test, I will come first. So you can't be doing that all the time. You have to do hard work to get out something. Now, out of sight, out of mind. So sometimes what happens is there are people who we have to keep looking at something or seeing something, then only we'll get reminded about something, then only we will do. But we shouldn't be like that. We have to make sure that all things has to be taken into the heart and mind and do properly. Now, one swallow doesn't make a summer. One bird comes means it doesn't mean, okay, I saw the bird and the summer has come. So there are a lot of other things that are involved, the climatic conditions and many other factors, that to say that there is a summer. So here, how do you use this? Um, just because you get in one subject 99 marks, okay, doesn't mean that you have excelled in all the subjects. So you have to study other subjects too to excel in your career or in your school. Now, listeners here, no good of themselves. We often hear children coming and telling, Mama, my friend has told like this about me to the other child. Another friend of mine came and told me that this, they both were talking bad about me and all that, right? Even we have done that when we were children. So, when we, if at all someone is talking about us and we are going to listen to that, I'm sure they are talking something bad about us. If they have to speak something good, they will talk in front of us, isn't it? So it's always better not to go and give your ear to people who are who you think are talking something about you, because you will get upset for yourself and you will spoil your day. Now, promises are made to be kept. That's very clearly given. Not just telling promise, I will do this, hereafter I will not do this, and again repeating the mistakes is not fair. If you make a promise, you have to make sure that you keep it till the end. So, not just telling, okay, my mother promised, father promised, God promised. There's no meaning in telling all those things. If it is a promise, promise, and then once you decide that you're not going to do on something, not to please others, just to make yourself, a dignified person, you have to give importance to the promises that you make. Better not to make promises, but if you make one, then you'll have to keep it up. Now, better safe than sorry. Prevention is better than cure. It's something like that. It's always better to be safe than afterwards. If suppose you are cutting vegetables, then you have to make sure you have to be alert when you're cutting it. Then after cutting carelessly, if you do something, then you will have same thing. When there is a like huts are there, and you should not keep near the hut some burning materials, because in the hay will get burnt or so, some like that. And even in personal life, um, you have to be always careful what you say, what you do, so that you don't have to regret later. So task, you can just go through it and answer for yourself from whatever we have. You can pause the video and try to do. Thank you. Thank you for watching the Proverbs with me. Now, these are very few proverbs that we have discussed here. There are many, many, many proverbs that you can explore. And please use all these proverbs in your daily conversation or in your write ups. Suppose you are writing some paragraph on something, or report writing, anywhere you can use these proverbs. It will be helpful. And more than anything, for me, I like proverbs because there are always good. Things behind each proverb, isn't it? So when you take it as a daily quote in your life also, you will improve your lifestyle and be great. So all the best for you to explore on proverbs. See you again with a new concept very soon. Thank you. This is Sashikala from Sashi's Gyms English Academy.